What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We are back with your favorite crippled Mustang owner, of course. Today we're going to be painting the headlight housings, the back piece of it. So we got to heat it up, take off the lens, paint the back. We'll get into that here in a second. I just shaved, so don't look too close into it because I had to shave with my left hand. So there's probably a bunch of missed spots, so don't look too close into that. But let's get into the headlights right now.
Job, you can't ignore it. I'm transforming now these cars and planes.
Since I'm lazy and when I put the intercooler on for the supercharger, intercooler's down in there, I never put this piece back on, so that saves us some time. So all we got to do is take out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 and 8 over on the corners, I think, and then 9 and 10 under the fender wells, and then this whole bumper should pop off. We'll have direct access to this headlight and this headlight, and then we'll just have to figure out what bolts we take off next, which I think obviously is going to be that one, and there's probably a few more underneath, but let's get this bumper off first and go from there. Okay, so there's the secret little hidden bolts down here that I'm going to have to get to. I'm using power tools because usually I just use like ratchets and stuff, but not working out too well today. There's that one. These are all almost like different sizes. I don't know why. The guy before me messed that up, I guess, but I'm going to set all these in a place where I won't lose them. Okay, and that is all of the bolts out of the bumper. All these are out. This last one, your guys' probably won't be like that. Well, if you're doing this on a Mustang, then it won't be like that. But what we're painting actually is this little chrome piece right here. You guys can see I have stickers here. These stickers will actually be coming off. They're just to black out the reflector, because I'll be painting the reflector too. I don't know exactly if I'm going to do the oven trick yet, or a heat gun, because I have a heat gun as well. There are 2 more bolts tucked up under here that I need to get. There's one on each side. They're little tiny bolts. They hold in these clips. These clips break a lot, so I got to be careful with that. But then this bumper should pop off. We'll be right onto the headlight. Okay, so I had to pull out the jack and everything, but I got these 2 little screws out. You guys can see that it's hanging out. I busted them out. Pretty easy. Didn't break the clips. That's like the scariest thing to do on these, is break the clips, especially because this is an aftermarket bumper. So I don't want to break them. I broke them on my original, but just pop them off all these little tabs right here. Actually, there's still a few wires. I forgot the turn signals are hooked up. Actually, just this side is, because my blow-off valve's in the way on this side. So that one's not hooked up. But this one is, so let me unhook those. Okay, now it should be able to come off. Just grab it like this, and there we go. It is off. I'm going to set this thing out of the way. That thing is all out of the way, and now we are just left with this. You guys can see, intercooler looks nice in there. Didn't really get to see that last video. Yeah, this would be finished, but unfortunately, broke my hand. Or there would be the supercharger sitting in there. But it's fine. It'll just live on the shelf for a little bit longer. Either way, let's get into taking these headlights off. There should be a few screws in here. Let me get these off, and then I'll pull out the heat gun and see what we can do. Okay, so it was just 3 bolts. We had a 10mm right here. There's a 10mm down there, and then I think there was a 13mm that was hanging in here. I think that was a 13. Then I just undid the connector. There's just one, and then there's like a little clip thing here. But this just popped off super simple. So I'm going to get the other side as well, and then I'm going to pull out the heat gun and start heating these things up. Okay, so both headlights are out. I have that one over there, and then this one is over here. The garage is a little bit dirty, but that'll be fine. I'll clean it up later. This one's out right here. I'm going to take this sticker off, and then you can throw these in the oven. I'm going to look it up real quick on like what temperature and everything, because I don't know for sure. But we also have a heat gun right down there, and that might just be a little bit safer. But I might throw these in as well. Okay, so basically what I've done now, I've taken out these 4 screws. There was one right here, one right here, one right here, and then the last one was over here somewhere, right here. So I took out all 4 of those, and now I just have to heat it up. I looked it up, and heat gun seems to be the safest way, so I'm going to roll with a heat gun. I've never really done headlights before, so this can be kind of like nerve-wracking, because these are like, I think they're like $1,000 each or something. So I don't want to mess these up, so I'm just going to stick with a heat gun, and I don't want to heat the whole entire thing up to, I think it's like 250 or 215 degrees. So I don't want to do that. I'm just going to stick with a heat gun, get the edges, and be careful on these tabs and stuff, just so I don't break them. But I think that's about it. I need to plug in the heat gun, heat it all up. I don't think I'm going to use the oven, just because I don't want to break my headlight.
One eternity later.
Okay, so about after 4 hours, yes, actually 4 hours, I got the lenses off on both of them. The first one took about 3 hours and 30 minutes, and the second one took about 30 minutes after I figured out what to do. They are right here. Here's the piece that we're going to be working on. Basically, going to tape off everything except for this piece right here and paint it black. And then these, I'm getting the glue out. I already got all the glue off this one. Mandy's working on this one. And I'm going to start taping these up because this will probably take a while. And then the other lens is over there. So I still got to take that one apart. But I'm about to start taping it up. And then I'm going to paint these. So I'm going to get it taped up. Then I'll paint these here in like 2 seconds. Okay, so we've progressed a little bit. I did kind of not film a few things, but it wasn't anything special. It's the easy stuff. So all I did was tape it off. I didn't do the best job at taping, but it's fine. I'm not here for like a taping contest. So I taped everything off and then sprayed it. I sprayed it with this Raptor enamel or whatever, and I'm probably going to throw some clear coat on it to gloss it up a little bit. You guys can see here, it's kind of like a satin. I mean, it says gloss, but it didn't come out as glossy as I wanted it to. Basically, all I did was tape everything off, but I'm going to have to let these sit overnight, let it dry completely, because I don't want to mess with it and then end up scratching it and doing dumb stuff while I'm putting it back together. But I did tape everything up. I used some blue tape, like the sharp edge one, to get around all these edges, and then I used green tape just to cover the big areas, and it should be fine. But with that being said, I'm going to let these dry, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay, so it has been, I think, 2 days since my last clip. I had a little bit of issues with it just because I have a broken hand. You guys should have, like, no huge problem with it. I can tell you some of the mistakes I made and how you guys can kind of avoid these. This glue right here, that's what you set in the groove of where you took it out before, where the lens connects to the housing. That stuff, it comes in a really thick glob. Now, I know it might be common sense to roll it and make it a little smaller, but on my first headlight I actually didn't do that. On the second one I did. Heated up really good. I had both heated up good, so I didn't really have a huge problem pushing them together, other than I couldn't push it together because it hurts my hand to push it together. So if you guys aren't the strongest, then probably have someone help you with that as well, because you can put the screws in and someone can push the clips on as you're pushing it together. But that's kind of what the clips are there for. So I didn't really record that part because I actually had my dad help me with that because I didn't want to just sit there and like record him as he helped me. Yeah, I just couldn't do that on my own. It killed my hand as I was pushing it together. So I just decided to ask for some help. But I've had to get some stuff figured out with my hand. So that's why it's been like 2 days since like the last clip. And I had to get these things figured out. And it just wasn't on like my biggest priority to get this finished because I can't even really drive the car because it's manual. So there's problems all around with this thing. When you guys do this, if you do mess up your housing a little bit when you're heating it up, all this stuff does go right back. But I'm about to throw these headlights in, and then I'll throw the bumper on, and it literally should be done. So I'll get on to doing that right now. Okay, so I have the two 10mm bolts right here. These, I'll just throw this up in here. Hopefully I don't have any problems with this. I might have moisture problems because, again, you know, I kind of had a little bit of an issue. If I do have moisture problems, I might just buy some like aftermarket ones. Shouldn't be anything that's too big of an issue. So this should just slide up in here. I don't even actually remember 100% how this went, but it shouldn't be difficult. There's one bolt that's right down here, and then there's a second one that's right up there. I'll try to get my splint out of the way. But there's those two bolts, and then there's a third one that's over here. I know I already showed you guys this stuff, but third one's right over here. You guys will want to kind of keep this stuff aligned, because you can't knock your headlights out of alignment. I mean, you can adjust everything, so it's not that big of a deal, but just try to keep it a little bit aligned, at least, because you don't want your car looking all raggedy. So then the third bolt goes in right on the side, just like the other ones. If you guys can see this line right here, you kind of want to get that even, because this thing can get knocked out of alignment, as you guys can see me just wiggling it. So try to get it nice and flat. One thing that I'll probably actually end up having to do is there's still some glue residue, because I had the glue on there. I'll probably restore my headlights with like one of those restoration kits or whatever, or I'll probably use some alcohol to get this stuff off. But my headlights are a little faded. Car's like 5-6 years old, so I'll probably restore my headlights, but that's not going to be in this video because you guys don't really need tips on how to do that because it's actually super simple. Okay, so I plugged them in. I got that one all the way on. Then I went and plugged them in, and both are working perfectly. Like I said, I do need to do the restoration stuff on them and get that glue off the sides. The black looks really good. I know the glue's kind of covering it so you can't see it that well. I turned the lights off so you can maybe see it a little better. I just painted that stuff all black. It looks good. I like it a lot better than just the stickers. I really need to get the sticker residue off because it kind of looks junky. That's honestly about it. Okay, so I don't know if I'm going to put my bumper on or not yet, so that's not even going to be in this video. If I do put it on, then I'll put it on, but I'm not going to put it in this video no matter what because I might do some supercharger stuff and I need the bumper off anyway. But that is basically it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys like these type of videos, the how-tos, I know I don't do how-tos, But if you guys like these type of videos, make sure to like and subscribe, of course. Turn on notifications too if you really want to. But I think that is it. The headlights are looking really good. I like the way it looks. One final show of them. They're just all blacked out and look really clean. But like I was saying, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys very, very soon next Wednesday. Peace out.